All right, everybody. Well, welcome to EPW 2021. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Stephanie, and I'll be moderating today's session with the help of Scott. Scott is somewhere up there currently. We have a great session lined up for you today. We have Sarah Wood, who is very near and dear, true to my heart, with SB Chats, and just a great Twitter friend in general. Have met her in real life. She is an all-star, and she will be sharing more insight about meaningful sponge activities, making every minute count. This is Sarah's 9th year of teaching. She's going into her 9th year, just like me. She has currently moved from New York to Colorado, and one of the SB Chat crew. If you haven't perused around Twitter, SB Chat is a Twitter chat. So we're trying to get that up and moving, everybody. COVID kind of set us a little bit off track, but hopefully we get back on track. A few things before we get started. We are going to attempt to keep our cameras and microphones muted during the presentation in order to avoid interruptions. As we are using Zoom for this session, sometimes it doesn't work the way we want it to work. So just be patient. If we have any major issues, we will send out an email with updated Zoom information. During the session, if you have a question, please use the chat feature. Sarah has asked to have questions answered during the session. So if something pops up, I'll go ahead and send it over to Sarah. If you have, or if you make any posts on social media, whether it's Twitter, IG, Instagram, or Facebook, we ask that you tag EPW and also use the hashtags EPW 2021 and EPW family. Without further ado, here is Sarah Wood. Round of applause.
All right, I want to share my screen, but it's saying host disabled it. So can you help me with that? Scott is the host maybe, or no, yeah, you're the host. I'm gonna keep pressing it till it works. No, not yet. Almost. Come on, Steph. Come through for me. I keep pressing share screen, but it says host disabled. Ooh, yay, I'm the host now. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Here we go. All right, we are going to do that. Thank you, everyone. We appreciate you being here today. I'm very excited. We're going to do this. All right, this is our session today. I hope you can see me. There are 28 people in the waiting room now, so I'm going to go ahead and admit them all. And maybe I can switch that over to you in a little bit, Steph, but ooh, more people are adding. Oh no, can I keep up with this? All right, well, here we go. We are going to start by saying that today we're talking about every minute counting with our sponge activities. My name is Sarah Wood. I am a K through 5 PE teacher, and I have been for 8 years now. This will be my 9th year. I taught for Charlotte, North Carolina for 4 years, and I also, that's going to keep happening, isn't it? And I've also taught for 3 years in Midtown Manhattan before or just after that, and now I am in Colorado Springs as well. And I've been here for the past year, and I'm here now as well. Now, I'd like to have you visualize your life as a lesson as you're going through teaching. You are on the road, you're driving through, the lesson's going great so far, but as you're going on, you kind of notice that your lesson is starting to I'm going to try to assign someone as a co-host in a second. You're going through your lesson and you're realizing that you're slowly running out of steam. You're running out of gas. You thought you had enough planned for the day, but you're getting to that wall, and you need ways to keep your kids focused and engaged and in our content, but everything that you have planned has run out. So today we're going to be talking about some of those ways to keep your lessons going when you think you've run out of gas or hit that wall with what you already had planned. These things can happen at any time. It could be on a Monday when you're sure you've planned enough for your lesson, but you still come up a little bit short. It could be when on a Friday class, when maybe Monday had its bumps, but you had enough, but now it's Friday, your classes are streamlined, zooming through, you're flying through, and you're suddenly, oops, what do I do next? When you come back from a fire drill and it's not really fitting to continue what you were just doing, but it's not enough time to move to something new, we want something still in that moment that's going to connect to our content that we can keep our kids engaged in. When you accidentally line your class 5 minutes early, this happens to me multiple times a month. I'm not ashamed to say it. I look at the clock, I realize I have everyone clean up, get their things done. We line up, we get to the door, and I look at my schedule that's posted there and go, this is not the right time. I was thinking of another class. What are you going to keep your kids engaged with instead of just hanging out? And, those times when a lesson completely falls apart, what can we do in those moments that can keep us on our day's focus, but in a way that's going to better fit our day? Have these ever happened to you? If they have, can I just have you put a quick, oh yeah, in the chat? Show me I'm not alone in these moments of, oh my goodness, what am I going to do next? I'm going to try to see if I can see some chat. Oh yeah, right. Oh my gosh, you're just like, what is happening next for me? Here's what we're going to talk about. This is today. This is for us. Yay. Okay. Ways to extend lessons. These are some of the things I do. I change partners or groups. That's always going to give me a good 3, 6, maybe even 9 minutes if I can change them up enough. Using partner moments and partner feedback. So getting your kids together to talk, to share, to give each other feedback. That's another way I'm going to extend my lesson beyond what I may have planned for the day. Spicing lessons up on the fly. I know we all have been there of, ooh, baby, we need to just sprinkle in a little bit so we can keep it going. Reviewing content, whether it's connected to our day, whether it's helping with another content area within our school, we're going to give some ways to do that as well. And then just a few bonus ways for those awkward few minutes of like, yeah, when you line them up too early or just those fire drill moments. Those are some last minute ones I got. So a sponge activity is a word that was given to me by the fabulous Matt Bassett, our EPEW superstar. I was talking about what I wanted to present. He said those are sponge activities. And I went, I have never heard of that. Sponge activities are things that aren't going to require any new equipment. You're not going to have to get anything new out that you already haven't been using in the day. It's not going to require you to do any new setup. You might have to rearrange where your kids are, but it's not going to take a whole bunch of time because it's only going to take a few minutes to perform. I love to demonstrate for my kids how the sponge activity is going to look, but that takes just a few seconds and then it's them after that. And it can be used when you just need to eat up those few more minutes of class time, but can be still connected to the day's activities. So how do you know if you need to extend? No, you've been in those situations. What does it look like or sound like or feel like? Write your answer in the chat. How do you know when you need to move to something new, change it up, have them switch partners? What are you seeing in your class? What does it feel like? Oh man, I hope people are reading. Unengaged students, look at that, Mr. Phillips. Off task, yes, yes, yes. These are things I see too. Yes, I'm so happy. Yeah, that's usually what it is. Kids are losing interest. They're arguing. Yes, you're like, you two can't be together anymore. We got to fix this. Sometimes the kids straight up just come up to me and say, when are we doing something new? And yeah, Mr. Phillips. And I'm like, you're right. Yeah, you've got it. We clearly we got to move forward. Finish early. Yeah. All right, we're going to move on to our next slide, but thank you for all of those. I'm right there with you. So we're going to talk about changing partners or groups. One of the most basic ways that I know to change partners is through Toss 3, an open phys ed activity that I use for my tossing and for a bunch of other activities as well. For this, the kids, if you're in a tossing moment, they're going to toss with a partner 3 times. After they've tossed with that partner, they find a new partner and repeat. So it's just those 3 tosses, find someone new and move on. Instead of tossing just with the same person over and over, they're going to get that experience of sharing with a bunch of different people. And by putting that limit of how many tosses, That's going to be like their mini timer. With that, I like it as well because it gives me a chance to practice with students independently and give them feedback. So I know everyone else is kind of on task. I can pull kids aside that I know need a little bit more help and can work with them on that. Speaking of that, I've used it for kicking activities, passing with their feet, passing with their hands, anything where it's just a few different reps and they can move on. You could change it to 5 or maybe even 7 or 10 if you wanted them to have more experience with the same person and then move on. But again, it's just going to give a little bit more extension and focus rather than just having them partnered with the same person for a set amount of time. Finding a new partner or group is something I rely on a lot. It can be used for any grade level. I have all my kids listed in Team Shake, so I know that I can just pull up my iPad to say, make groups of 3 for me, please, Team Shake, and it'll pull up what I want. My K1 example is rolling to a target. This activity my students do in partners, so they're always working together to knock down all of their pins. After about maybe 3 or 4 minutes though, I start to see those same things. We're starting to get off task. We're starting to kind of get, the repetition has gotten to us. We're burning out. When I see those signs of burnout, it is time to find a new partner. So I stop them. For K and 1, I'm going to use my Team Shake. I'm going to move them to, I'm going to say, stop, put your equipment down. Let's move over to this black line. I'm going to go out to the pins. When I call you and your partner, you're going to come out to that spot and restart the activity. Once they do that, something that I like doing that because, taking them away from the activity. So that way they're not just sitting waiting or kind of playing with their stuff as they're waiting for me to tell them their new group. And then I can look at Team Shake and decide, ooh, is that partnership actually a good one? And I can veto Team Shake if I need to. For 2 through 5, we do a lot of long jump roping in the beginning of the year, and we will be in groups of 3 or 4. So instead of being in that partnership, they're in groups. With that, I have them set on a certain amount of jumps that their group is trying to get. So everyone in their group is trying to get 1 jump. When everyone has gotten 1 jump, they're going to come check in with me and I'm going to tell them their next challenge, which is 3 jumps. Once they all get to 3 jumps, they can keep moving on to the next level by checking in with me. But if they just come, that way they're less like swingy jumps or swingy ropes all over the place. They're not trying to go fast or too slow for their partner trying to like joke around with them. They're really more focused because they have this set amount of jumps. But even though I have them on this plan of how many jumps to get to, they still get off task. They still start to lose their fire. It starts to smolder and burn out. So to alleviate that, we say, put your jump rope down where you are. We're going to move over to the black line. I'm going to go to each jump rope and tell you your new group. So I'll go to each rope and say, read them off from Team Shake. Again, I veto Team Shake if I need to. And then they start over again from that 1 jump because they're with new people that they have to readjust their swing for or their jump style for. And it's going to be a different learning experience, even though they're doing the same thing they just were. To rework with those new people is going to challenge them in a new way. Now, you may be thinking, if I change my groups, my kids are going to lose their minds. They're going to be moaning and groaning. And I had this fair share of experience when I started this as well. My kids, as soon as I would say, all right, new groups, they would go, what? I'm not ready for this. So to help with this, I made this rubric of 4 levels of how students react when they get a new partner. They can really lose it and go, oh my goodness, no, the moans and groans are at their all-time worst. This is the worst day of my life type reaction. You have level 2, which is a little more relaxed, but it's still, they're not excited about it. You can tell it still is gonna damage the excitement of the group. You have level 3 where they're a little bit more excited. They're like, okay, good, I can do this. And then level 4 is the ultimate reaction. When kids are with their best friends, this is the kind of action that you see. These are literally posted in my gym on the wall so that these are always up, they're always referenced. We practice this a ton at the beginning of the year so that I don't have to worry about it later, that kids are gonna be hurting each other's feelings about who this group they're in. So at the beginning of the year, we practice getting into groups and then getting out of groups, and getting back in groups and getting out of groups so that they can see what it looks like and feels like to be at these different levels. We talk about how it affects a group if someone acts like a level 1 or 2 or a level 3 or 4, how that has an impact on how the group will perform at different stages based on how that initial reaction goes. With partner acceptance levels, if you have a hard time grouping your kids up positively, practice this. Like I said, at the beginning of the year, we go through it a ton. I model what it looks like. The kids model what it looks like when they get into their different groups. We call up groups. I pull up TeamShake. It makes groups for me. I read them off, and we will evaluate the reactions of other students. So if they, I'll call off the group and they'll get up, they'll do their thing. We'll see how they reacted. And the other kids who were observing say, I think that they reacted in a level 3 fashion or a level 4 way. And I know this because they gave a high five or an air high five, or I know that they didn't seem excited because they kind of were slow to walk up to their group. That's a way that I alleviate the moans and groans when I'm changing partners so often. So I wanted you to just take a moment. You can answer in the chat or just take a moment to reflect in your own mind of things that you may already be thinking about, of what activities you currently use that you could extend by changing partners. Yeah, TeamShake. Oh, it's so nice. Yeah, self-evaluate. They can go, whoa, you're right. Oh, you know what the other thing is that I love about it? There was a class consistently that I'd be like, okay, you're getting a new group. And there was always a kid who would go, partner levels, don't forget partner levels. And they would like say it out loud to the whole class. And it was just such a visual of, yeah, like, remember, it's important how you act to other people and what they're gonna do. All right, we're gonna keep it moving. So we've talked about changing partners or groups. We're going to talk about using partner moments and partner feedback. Again, more things with partners, but just kind of how I tweak it and fashion it. Quiz trade is an activity that I learned through a workshop where we were working on making classrooms more active. It's a flashcard activity at its core, but I found ways to transform it and make it a little different. This video is about 1.5 minutes long. It's going to give a better demonstration of how to do quiz trade with flashcards. So it'll give you the visual of how I move on and use it for partner things.
Quiz trade. Today, you are going to review content with your classmates. Before class today, your teacher made index cards, each with a word on the front and its definition on the back. Everyone in the class is going to get one of those cards. When the teacher starts the activity, stand up and put your hand up. Look around the room for someone else with their hand up. Pair up with that student. Once in groups, you quiz trade. To start, one student shows the other the word on the index card. The other thinks about the word and tries to say the definition. That's the first quiz. Then the other student shows his or her word and asks for a definition. That's the second quiz. Lastly, the partners trade cards and look for a new partner. To find a new partner, put your hand up, look around the room for someone else with their hand up, and pair up with that student. With your new partner, you quiz trade. Repeat this activity until the teacher has called time. Quiz trade.
All right, that is our quiz trade. You can use it with flashcards if it's a like uh-oh day and we need to move on to something else. I have like a box of flashcards that are just ready on my desk that I can quickly pass out to the students, and they can just quiz, trade their card and move on. You could design a set that was PE specific or just use pre-made ones from Target Dollar Spot like I do. So flashcards is one way. Another way is to answer questions asked by the teacher. So if I ask the class a question, they're gonna quiz each other by answering the question, and then there's nothing to trade. They're just gonna move on to the next person. Sharing ideas or skills, we're gonna go through some examples of that. Giving peer feedback. And I love quiz trade because it can be done with even or odd amounts of students because they're switching so much. In that first round, if I have an odd amount, I'll be partners with that student, and then we will, as soon as they leave me, I'll kind of step away because everyone's trading so much that they don't notice that it's odd anymore. So using quiz trade for partner moments is something I do. We were doing a scarf tossing activity where students were in their spots and I was getting about 45 seconds, it was K&1, 45 seconds of practice per type of toss. So a toss, clap, catch, a toss, touch your head catch, a toss, something catch, like that. They were at their spot, but I was only getting about that much in for each practice because they were burning out. And I'm looking at my list going, oh no, we are flying through these. I am not going to have enough to do at the end. So something I thought was, what if they showed their tosses to each other? It's going to be more practice time for them, and it's going to eat up more of my time that I'm clearly have plenty of now. So for this, I would have them find a partner. Partner 1 would show their trick while partner 2 watched them. Partner 2 would show their trick while partner 1 watched. They would say goodbye and find a new partner and repeat. So I was getting like 2 minutes out of them just going and finding new people and switching all the time. So those 45 seconds per trick really turned into 2 or 3 minutes of practice per trick because they were able to move about the room and find each other, work with different people, and practice. Even though they were practicing the same skill over and over, showing different people made it a little bit more exciting. With partner moments, I always demonstrate it with the student. So I'm trying to select a student who wants to help and who knows what they'll be doing. So if I am asking a student to toss, clap, and catch, I'm saying, I need someone to help me with something where they're going to be tossing a scarf, clapping, and catching it. That allows the kids to know what they're going to be doing, because sometimes you pull up a kid, you say, oh, I need a partner, and you pull someone up and they're like, the thing that you want them to do, oh yeah, quiz trade laminate. Sorry. You pull up a kid and what you want them to do, they don't know how to do, or they don't feel comfortable with doing it once they're up there. By telling them ahead of time, it kind of alleviates that and makes sure that they know ahead of time. So I will say, all right, we're going to do a partner moment. Here's how it'll look. I'm going to have a partner. I have my partner. I'm going to show my partner my trick. They're going to show me theirs. I would have them show it. We're going to say goodbye. We always wave and find a new partner. If I can't find a new partner, I always, and they know, raise my hand. I love partner moments. Again, it just gets them switching, moving with new people. I like it. Partner feedback moments change it a little bit. So I'm using this way more with 3rd, 4th, 5th grade, where it's the same as a partner moment, but they're giving feedback on what they worked on that day. My example for this is dribbling, hand dribbling specifically. I'm picking a specific cue that I want the students to give feedback on that we've already learned. For us, it's finger pads, dribbling level, and eyes, where their eyes are looking as they're dribbling. So we've already hammered these down. We talk about these so that when we have to give a partner feedback moment, I can say, when you're giving feedback to your partner, you're going to be looking at their finger pads. You're going to be looking, we would do finger pads. Then we would move on to the next one, dribbling level, and then finish up with eyes. By picking out one specific cue, it's going to alleviate the vagueness of watch this person's dribbling and give them feedback. By giving them a more specific target, it's going to keep them more focused and give more meaningful feedback. So for this, again, I'm going to demonstrate with the students what they're giving feedback on and explain it. So we're finding a partner. I am going to be partner 1, or no, my partner's going to be partner 1 and I'll be partner 2. So my partner would show me 3 dribbles while I watch them. Once they're done, I'm going to give them feedback. I'm going to say, I really like the way that you use your finger pads. You used them, they were spread out. You made sure you were pushing with them. That was a really good, nice way to do it. I'm going to dribble for my partner at that point. And as the demonstrator, as a teacher in this situation, I am going to do it in a way that is wrong. That's not according to the cues. I'm going to dribble with the back of my hand or with my elbow, something so that the students have to give that feedback for someone who needs help. If we just show it perfect for both, they're not going to necessarily know that example of what to do when someone's not doing something properly. So I'm going to do it in a silly way. They're going to have to say, you didn't use your finger pads. They might show me how to do it. That happens a lot. They'll give it another example, and then we move on. I say goodbye. I find a new partner and repeat. Again, this is going to give the kids so much interaction with each other, to give each other feedback, to have to speak to each other. They're going to pick their friends a lot. And that's something that I'm not upset about in this situation, because I want them to pick people who they feel comfortable with and safe with. If they're partnered up with someone that they're not so sure about, that's okay with me in this situation. And they can also revisit with partners. So if they have already worked with someone for a different skill, or even earlier in that moment, I'm cool with that. I'm going to spend about a minute-ish on each different cue, and that's going to give me 3 minutes. I can also do this in a way where students have specific things they want feedback on. So I might not say anything about what they want to watch or what I want them to watch. They might go to a partner and say, I'm really having trouble with this specific piece. Can you help me with that? Can you watch me do that piece? Just another extension above an extension of how to keep it going. So with partner feedback moments, we'll take a moment to pause and reflect. If any activities that you know that you can extend with partner moments, or you want kids to give each other feedback on what they're doing. Again, I'm gonna do partner moments with K through 5. I want them to be watching each other, but feedback's gonna be more specific for 2nd through 5th. K and 1, I still do some thumbs up or thumbs down things, but sometimes you never know. Oh no, I did the wrong thing. So I'm gonna check the chat. Uh-oh. Yep, I'm gonna pull that back up. And nope, I'm gonna go back. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna open chat, sorry. Yeah, just think of what you can. So some examples that I have are, we have done it with striking, with with paddles and things like that. So the students are watching each other, especially feedback wise, do their pull back, strike into the wall. We've done it with rolling. We've done it with throwing. You can do it with your underhand toss, swing step toss. My littles can do that one. Yeah, kicking. What are your cues? Anything that has cues that you're picking out will be awesome. My 4th and 5th were doing short jump rope, and they were telling kids, I want help with crossing my arms when I jump. Is that something you can help me with? So if they could, awesome. If they couldn't, they might move on to someone else, or they might say, I'll watch you anyways. I'm not really sure, but I still want to watch you. That's something I would do. Yay, all right, that was partner feedback moments, cool. So why am I changing partners so much? I love it. Oh, I love it. It's gonna buy me like 3 or 5 more minutes every time, because my timing, and it's gonna give experience with students who are not in their circle, who are not necessarily in their friendship group, especially when I'm picking their group. When Team Shape picks their group, this is who you're working with. It's gonna give them a different experience than they were expecting. They get to reflect on how it was to work with a variety of people. So at the end of class, I try to make a point to have them mentally in their head reflect on how it was to work with people that they don't normally work with. I don't usually have them share this out loud, because you never know who's going to share what. It's more of an internal mental moment of, let's talk about how it was to work with people who weren't our friends. Other students may have skills that a student didn't know about. So we've had experience where someone is partners with someone and they're an awesome at throwing, and they suddenly decide, oh my gosh, we didn't know you're so good. Do you want to come out at recess sometime and play the football game with us? And then it allows students who need help to see a variety of ways to try something. And I like to know this is the kid language effect. So I may spend so much time with someone explaining and demonstrating in so many ways, and my adult language just doesn't connect to their kid language. Whatever I'm saying is just it's not happening. But another kid or multiple kids can work with that person, and it just gives them a whole different take on it that I wasn't really delivering to them. That's the kid language effect of when kids explain things to each other. Sometimes it works the best. And they're just gonna have just so many opportunities to give feedback and to hear feedback. Even if someone doesn't give them the proper feedback, they think, oh, you're dribbling fine, but they're not. They're gonna find someone who's gonna give them feedback, accurate feedback at some point. All right, we've talked about partner groups, partner moments, and feedback. Spicing our lesson up on the fly is where we're headed to next. This is one of the activities I thought of this year. Throw at anything. I wanted it to be a simple throwing activity, and it is. Throw at anything literally means throw at anything that's on the walls. I was using this for K through 2 as a throwing activity because with this year, I just wanted to take it back so much. So we were just throwing at any target on the wall. So if I had different posters, this might be a poster on the wall. This might be a poster on the wall. You need to throw at this one. If you throw at this one, you can't throw at this one again. You have to go to something new. You can go between the two same posters. I don't care about that, but you've always got to pick something other than what you just did. So I had to think, would I rather have my students throw at the same target over and over, or do I want them to change their target after each throw? I found that their endurance, I may plan for them to throw for 5 minutes or whatever, but their endurance was so much stronger when they had the variety of throwing at a bunch of different things instead of the same target. So if you were working on, if you were outdoors for this, I know a lot of you are in California, no gyms, Florida, that kind of thing, put out a bunch of hula hoops on your ground, do an underhand tossing activity, same thing. You just need to pick a different hula hoop. Instead of the same one, can we switch to something else to extend it a little bit longer so you're not losing your minds? I'm not going, oh my goodness, this is over. What do I do next? Pick something new. And then repetitions and time goes with that as well. Some examples, foot dribbling. My 4th and 5th graders were working on foot dribbling, and I had to think, would I rather have students dribble for 2 minutes, or would I rather have them dribble for a set amount of dribbles, like 50 dribbles? Which one's going to keep their focus longer? 2 minutes, they were burning. They just couldn't keep the endurance. I can say we're going to do this for 2 minutes, but they don't really always know what that means or what that feels like, what that looks like. I can put up a timer and it's still not going to connect. But if I have them for 50 dribbles, it's going to give them something else to focus on. They're going to have to count as they go and keep that endurance going for longer than they realize. If I just said 2 minutes, have fun, bye-bye. With that, after their 50 dribbles, they're going to come in and check with me for their next challenge, kind of like the jump roping levels. I'm going to say, after your 50, come check in with me. Their next challenge typically is do 100 dribbles, but you're going to count by 2. So they're still only doing 50 dribbles, but it's going to put it in a different way. I might say dribble to 200 and count by 5. So changing how they're counting, what they're counting, the pattern that they're using with their feet, as well as changing out the equipment that they're using. So if they're using a soccer ball, maybe switching to a deck ring after 50 dribbles, or switching to a bean bag after 50 dribbles. Look in your closet, spike balls, anything that they can kick around, switch to something new, and that's going to shift their focus to something else. Ooh, make it easier or harder. So you're at the limit, you've switched partners a ton, you've changed things, you're like, oh my gosh, I still need more, what? Ask the students to make it easier or harder, but don't have them share it out loud. Have them go out and try it for a few minutes, and then once they've tried it, come back to the circle, have them share how they made it easier, how they made it harder. You can separate those. You can say, we're only making it easier. And then we're only making it harder. That's going to extend even more time from your lesson. Oh, baby. If you do both at the same time, oh, you can double it by splitting it up. But I've done this with rolling to a target. The kids get 3 pins and they have to make it easier. To make it easier, they put the pins closer together. They get closer. I'm walking around and noticing these, but then when we come back to the circle, they share it out. And then to make it harder, they spread out the pins, they change how they look, they roll backwards, they think of all kinds of things that you can use. Think of some other things that we can make easier or harder. Take a moment, chat it up. I'm going to check back in on that chat. I haven't been in a minute. So yeah, think of what are some easy, hard things. Let's see, what can we make easier or harder? Throwing distance, things like that are going to help them, or going to change it up. Different targets, making the target bigger or smaller, we've done in the past. That's going to make it easier or harder. Adding an obstacle or someone in the way is going to make it easier or harder. It's going to make it harder. Yeah, those are some off the top of my head ideas. Ooh, non-dominant hand, let's go. I love to see it. Thank you. But yeah, anything like that of I am out of ideas, my brain, it's that last class of the day. What else do I have? Just ask them to do it. Ask them to make it easier, harder. Love it. Speaking of circles, I said circle up. I love using circles. I wanted to put this in here because the kids get to see each other's faces all the time. We're at spots and I'm sharing and the kids are like, who's talking? Where are they? Or they're not looking at them. Circles, make sure they can see each other. I have circles on my gym floor. So look at your teaching space. If you already have a circle you can use, awesome. If you don't, you can use a basketball key or a 3-point line. The key is square, but it still serves in the same way. If you're outside, you don't have a circle, you're in grass or something, you make a chicken wing circle. A chicken wing circle, I don't know if you can see me, I hope so, but you're gonna take your elbows at your side like you're making those chicken wings, like in chicken dance. They're gonna go out like this. You ask everyone in your group, make a chicken wing circle. They're gonna connect their elbows to the people who are next to them, or as they get to the circle, they're gonna touch those elbows. Then they're gonna put their arms down and you're gonna have a circle. If they need room for someone else, they know to back up. Making a chicken wing circle just for some reason is so much easier than making a regular circle. So that's something that I use a lot. And with that, I would practice this at the beginning of the year as well. So if we're doing locomotor movements, it's, all right, we're skipping, stop, make a chicken wing circle. And then that's just, you don't have to do anything with it. It's just an opportunity to practice making a circle. Student created lesson extensions are another way that I extend my lesson if I need to. Use what the kids think of like an easier or harder, but sometimes you're just doing a lesson, scarf tossing, all of a sudden someone's tossing under their legs. You're like, what is this? That's not what I said, but I love it. I'm doing a, hey, everyone stop and watch. We're gonna all try this moment. Most of the time now though, I'm going up to that student, I'm saying, I love what you're doing. Can I show this to everyone? Do you wanna show this to everyone? How can we make this so that you can get into this? So by asking them if they wanna try it, they have the ownership and the demonstration power. Or if they don't feel comfortable standing in front of the whole class, I'm not making them show it. I can say, if you want me to try it and show it, I will do that as well. This can be done in a partner moment way as well. So showing someone else what you thought of and trying it out. So I'm gonna show my partner my tossing strategy that we haven't done yet and my partner's gonna watch. Then my partner gets to try it out. They're gonna do their new style of tossing. I'm gonna try it out. We're gonna say goodbye and find someone new. I love when they show each other stuff. They love it. They get to go visit, ooh baby. We've talked about partners, groups, quiz trade, spicing it up. We're talking about reviewing any content. One of those ways is to do a yes, maybe, no. I have these hung in my gym on the wall. So one is in the corner, one is in the middle, one is on the, I should be looking. One is here, one is in the middle, and the other is on the other end. I can ask them any question that has those answers, and they can go scuttle on down and stand under their answer for their question. These can be opinion-based. These can be, did you work hard today? Do you think the class worked hard today? Were people nice to you today? These can be based on social emotional. They can be based on your, they can be based on the skills of the day. It could be anything like that where they just are reflecting on what they did that day. Oh yes, ask questions and have the students stand in their answer. 1, 2, 3, 4 is another one. Oh, if you didn't have, I'm thinking of my outsides. You could have zones already set out or cones, some sort of marking on the ground of that's already there of if your answer is yes, go over to, I don't go outside, sorry. So the hopscotch area, or if you think it's yes, go to this 3-point key, or if you think the answer is no, go over to this corner, something like that. Which brings me to 1, 2, 3, 4. These are the different corners of my gym. It helps for stations and general organization of the class. I'll ask my class a multiple choice question about the lesson and they'll stand in the corner that matches their answer. So I might write the question on the board really quick and have 1, 2, 3, or 4 answers for it where they'll have to stand under that, that number. I might start with easier ones with just a few answers so that they kind of see how they need to move to the corners, but then you can really amp it up if you need 4 different answers. We are short on time, so we're gonna keep on. Reflection questions. Circle up, make that chicken wing circle, and ask them some questions from the day. How can you use this at home or recess? What will you tell someone at home about what you learned here today? What is something that you were proud of from today? You could do this in a circle and call on individual kids to answer, or you can do this quiz trade style. So you're going to ask your kids to partner up. You're going to ask them the question. They're going to practice. They're going to answer. One person will answer. The other person will answer. They'll say goodbye and find someone new. And they will just keep going, answering the question with different people. So instead of like concentric circles where you are partnered up with one person and you have to switch when the teacher tells you to, or after the minute is up or something like that, this is going to get your kids answering a question with different people, but they always have someone new that they can go to. They don't have to wait for your cue of when to switch. Quiz radius. So I'll take a moment to pause, catch my breath personally, and think about just throw in some reflection questions that you're using in your class at the end that I'm sure you have some of, we can fit in a quick question as we wait for your teacher kind of thing. I'm gonna check the chat. I missed the chat. Oh my gosh, there's 20 chats. I'm so sorry. Ooh, what is an area of growth you can work on? Yeah. Aww. Oh, wow. Oh, you were all asking for, oh, I'm so sorry I didn't get to read all these. I'm so excited to do it later though. I'm gonna try to keep it up. You all can see each other's answers too. I forget about that. Was I saved today? Yeah. I know I was saved because and always try to prompt them in your demonstrations with how you want them to answer it. Because it's such a nice prompt you'll hear it once you go out there. You realize, and then you can ask the questions with them. You can talk with kids because Quiz Trade allows you to get in there and talk. I love it. Yes, Bo, that question, what success did you see from someone else in class today? Those answers are so stunning sometimes. Those kids choke me up so often with like just the proud moments they have of each other. Oh, I love those. All right, we're moving. I'm going. We talked about the partners, groups, spicing it up, content. These are those few bonus ways for your awkward few minutes. You've lined them up. Oh no, what did I do? Oh my goodness me, oh my. Yes, I'm not gonna play. It's a really simple song. I can do it out loud just as I do. I don't play this video anymore. I just sing it. I played this in my first few years and then I got away from the video because it just wasn't, it took too long. I just use the if you're a kid part. So I use these examples like, if you're a kid, if you're a kid, clap your hands. And then they clap their hands like this. If you're a kid, if you're a kid, brush your teeth. And I always put in like, read a book, throw a ball, drink some water, eat some grapes. It's always invisible things that they can kind of mime, Simon Says style. And then eventually the kids start raising their hands and I'm like, oh, we have suggestions from the audience. Great, even less work that I have to do. Who wants to give some examples? And they most of the time repeat each other, but I don't care. We're waiting for your teacher. We just got to kill a few minutes. I use this mostly with K through 2, 3 through 5. I need some, oh no, we're standing in line and we don't have anything to do activities. So I will ask for those at the end. Like I said, I use these when we're waiting for teachers. If you're a kid, oh, they love it. It's very fun. So yeah, think of some songs, activities, throw those in the chat if you can. I'm gonna keep moving though. I know I'm running out. So yes, breathing moments could not come at a better time. These I got from the NYC DOE Move to Improve program. When I was in the DOE, we went through a program where we were trying to make more active classrooms, move to improve test scores. So we had a lot of activities that were content-based, but the breathing moments were always something that we're supposed to do at the end. But I've taken these and also used them in my lessons. So if you have these printed out and you need one at the last minute, pull out your list and read it quick. The more you do these, the more your kids will be used to it. These only take like 30 seconds, but sometimes you just need a 30-second time filler. So use a breathing moment. These are all the examples. I'm gonna throw this in the chat at the end for the PDF of the whole Move to Improve program. And within that is some of these breathing moments. This is my favorite one. You're gonna put your palms up in front of you as you breathe in. You're going to put these fingers together like this. It's kind of satanama, but it's my mind is calm. You're going to say it fine the first time, whisper the second time, and in your head the last time. So it goes, my mind is calm. My mind is calm. We just do it 3 times, but you could do it more than that if you realize your kids need more. That's my favorite. Oh, I love it. Yes. Songs and dances I always have on cue. So I have a whole playlist of K-1 dances, follow the songs like if you're a kid, but the music does all the work for me of like, we just need to move on and get to something else. We have, oh baby, we're all over. Let's recenter with the song. The Goldfish song is one of my faves. The Run Stop song. You go on Spotify, there's plenty of follow the leader songs. Yes. I also love dance play dances. If you search dance play on YouTube, there's a few examples. Melanie does an awesome job of teaching these. Super simple. They're fun for the kids to understand. You can display them or just learn them yourself to teach. I have a few that I know are in my back pocket of we just got to dance. The DOE also has a few moves to improve that I use sometimes. One is true or false. You're going to assign a movement for true, like jumping jacks. You're going to assign a movement for false, which could be squats. You're going to ask any question that's true and false. It can be used as a revision from your lesson or just a time filler with math facts like 8 + 2 is 10. True, we're doing jumping jacks. I would set a limit of like 3. 7 + 7 is 15. That would be false. So they'd be doing squats. But then I'm always going to finish it up, that false statement, with what's true so that the kids know what the true answer was. So 7 + 7 is 14. True. Then we can move on to a new math fact type of situation. Or it can be, content from your class. Today we practice skipping. True or false? Things like that. Nature walk. Tell a story. Have your students walk with you. K-1 is my go-to for this. We will just kind of create a story, create a picture. I love outside stuff. We need to put on our sunscreen and we're going to the beach. We're going to get in our mom and dad's car, and what will we do first? We'll put on our seatbelt, and then we just go through a whole story where they have to act things out. Then you start calling on kids to do things for you. You say, what would we do next? And they think of things. Or you can have them think of stories with a partner. We love partner stuff. Have them think of something with a partner. Oh yeah, if you gotta kill time, that's how I would do it. I love using invisible equipment before we get out real equipment. It just gives the kids a moment to practice with a thing so I can see, oh, you know what we're gonna do. I can give you a real thing. We use invisible equipment at the end of the lesson too to review what we practice. So we'll be like, oh man, you've got a really far shot from this basket. How would you do it? All right, you're really close this time. What does it look like to shoot close? Invisible stuff, love. Don't have to get anything out. I lined us up too early, but we can still practice a little bit. Let's do it invisible style. Nature walk can be used either way. Invent something new or have them practice what they were doing that day. Spell it out real fast. I would have my co-teacher and my dance teacher and I, we co-taught 4 pre-K classes at the same time in New York City. Me, oh my, what a life we lived. But we would go through dance things with her. And then something else that we did was we would make different body parts or different shapes with our body parts. Just, and again, another really simple, easy, like make a star with your elbow, things like that. Once you get them going with that, so different shapes or spelling words with different body parts, have them challenge the class or a friend. Call individual kids up. Have them start with the ideas, or do it quiz trade style. In 4th, 5th, 3rd grade, have them give a challenge spell, dribbling with your foot. They have to spell it out. Then the other kid can challenge them. They say goodbye and find a new partner. Always changing. So those are mine. Those are my things. I'm switching partners. I'm reviewing content. I'm trying to just get them looking at each other, giving feedback, really interacting and reviewing. So what are some of your go-to sponge things that you're at the end of your lesson? You've tapped out. What have you done in the past to get yourself to the finish line with that car, basically? Ooh, appreciation circle. Yeah. Simon says, ooh, teach in different shapes. Oh yeah. I don't know what Grandma Has a Headache is. I'm interested in it. I could call it Miss Wood Has a Headache, I think. I don't know, Jennifer, please tell me. Ooh, student, yes, I love those both. I love the kids showing off each other. I wish I would have put more in there about that because yes, they love, I love it. I love when they're so proud of each other. They have made me cry. Yeah. Any more? We're just hanging out. If you got more, throw it in the chat. Noodle tag. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's an easy one. If you just have like kind of those backup games of like, ooh, partner movies, of like, I go to rock, paper, scissors, corners a lot because I don't got to get anything and they just know how to play it. Students are standing in line and some students are picked. Ooh. Oh, yes, I could see using that. Yeah, but what I really need, and if you're interested, oh, wow. Oh, goodness. All right, let me pull up my Spotify. Let me see if I can do this so fast. My pre-K list. My favorite songs are, ooh, I want to know more about Kyle Briggs. I think I know about Kyle Briggs enough, but now that you say that, I'm like, ooh. Run, Stop, Funky Monkeys. That's supposed to be Monkeys. Oh no, I'm only DM Stacy Olson. Stacy Olson, please forgive me. Stop, Funky Monkeys. That one only lasts 1 second. We literally do it every K1 class as a warm-up. They love it. It's a good start and stop on command. The song just goes, I don't have to do anything. Freeze Dance by the Cupid Shuffle DJs. Goldfish by Lori Berkner. Exercise Games by Mark D. Penzel. These are like my all the time go-tos. Those are like my top 4 of like, ooh, this one was good at the end. Tiptoe, Gallop, March. I'm putting these in chat. I'm sure you probably noticed by now, but Andrew Holdsworth. Yeah, those are like, just play the song does it for you. We need those moments too, you know? Like, we're teaching all these classes all day, and sometimes it's just this is a moment for all of us. We can keep our bodies moving and keep us targeted. We can talk about heart rate at the end, things like that. That is me today. I also wanted to throw in the chat really quick. Oh man, I wanted to share this, but I have to pull it out and do it this way. But I don't know where I am. Stop share. There we go. Hello, hi again. This is the DOE Move to Improve guide. They have so many just things that you can use in your own class. And then on top of that, just things that you can give to your teachers too. You're supposed to train them. Sorry, New York City Department of Education, if you're watching this. You're supposed to technically train your teachers on how to use them, but they're great. I've just taken my own ideas for how to get the kids moving and grooving. And I think there's a lot of good ideas in there. And then the breathings, love. So yes, that is me. That is my sharing and partnering and extending, because so many times I'm looking and going, yikes, uh-oh. Or the kids just have such good ideas that you're like, we got to do that. And then partnerships are such a good way to do it. All right, Steph, what am I doing next?
All right. Just give me a second here. Okay, let me just end things off with a huge thank you for watching today's session on meaningful sponge activities, making every minute count. A special thank you to Sarah for an epic session, for giving her knowledge bombs to all of us here. Thank you so much. We appreciate your time. We appreciate you and what you do for our community. Seriously.
Elementary Physical Education Workshop. We're glad you were here.
Please follow us on our social media platforms. EPEW can be found on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube.
Please check out our website for links to more great sessions. Just go to epew-cp.weebly.com and click on the virtual EPEW 2021 tab at the top and scroll down.
EPEW 2021 Educators Assemble would not be possible without the support and dedication from the amazing EPEW committee. The committee has been hard at work for months preparing for this workshop. Thank you to Linda McGee, Barbara Groton, Scott Wilson, Stephanie Sandino, Julie Miller, Jessica Monlux, Kayla Ailman, Shelby Lozano, Andrea Chavez, Scott Townsend, and Cindy Chase.
Thank you for attending EPEW, where our motto is, come to learn, leave as family.